In the shadowy crevices of history, where fact and folklore intersect, there resided a man named Tiberius. His life was not woven from ordinary cloth. His tale was one that spanned the chasm between adversity and triumph, blindness and vision, faith and ferocity. Welcome, dear listeners, to From Blind to Gladiator, the cleric who found strength in his own limitation. Born into a world of darkness, Tiberius was not gifted with sight. He was a boy who knew only the unending night, a world devoid of color and form. But within him, a fire was kindled, a spirit that refused to be extinguished by the cruel hand of fate. He was blind, yes, but he was not broken. From the ashes of his plight, he fashioned a weapon of resilience, using his perceived limitation as a stepping stone to his destiny. Tiberius was not just a cleric. He was an embodiment of faith, a beacon of hope for those shrouded in despair. His faith was not just in the divine, but in himself and his abilities. His blindness did not prevent him from seeing the world. It merely changed the way he perceived it. His world was a symphony of sounds, a tapestry of textures, and an orchestra of odors. In the heart of the sprawling ancient city of Rome, amidst the grandeur of the Colosseum, an extraordinary tale unfolded. A tale of a man who, despite the odds stacked against him, rose to the status of a gladiator, captivating thousands with his prowess and spirit. This is the story of Decimus, once a humble cleric who discovered strength in his own limitation and transformed his life in the most extraordinary way. This is the story of a man who went from being blind to becoming a gladiator. Born into a family of modest means, Decimus was stricken with a terrible illness in his childhood that took away his sight. His world plunged into darkness, yet his spirit remained undimmed. He refused to let his blindness define him. Instead, he learned to navigate his world using his other senses, honing them to a level far beyond the ordinary. He found solace in the teachings of the church, and thus began his life as a cleric. Days turned into years, and Decimus, with his unwavering faith and resilience, gained respect and admiration from his peers. He became known for his wisdom and his ability to counsel others through their darkest times. From the moment he was born into this world, our story's protagonist, Cleric, was starkly different from his peers. Born in the grand city of Luthadel, the son of a humble blacksmith, Cleric was welcomed into the world without the gift of sight. His world was a realm of darkness, save for the occasional glimmers of light he could barely perceive. A world of shadows and whispers. Despite these circumstances, Cleric was not one to give in to despair. He found solace in the sounds around him, the rustling of leaves, the hushed whispers of the wind, the gentle lullabies sung by his mother. He learned how to navigate his surroundings with the help of his other senses. His keen hearing became his eyes, his sense of touch became his guide, and his strength of will became his compass. However, as Cleric grew older, he became more aware of his limitations. He yearned to experience the world as others did, to gaze upon the sunrise, to see the faces of his loved ones, the world that was once a comforting cocoon of sounds and sensations began to feel like a prison. He was a bird with clipped wings, yearning for the sky but forever bound to the earth. The cleric's transformation journey began in the heart of the kingdom of Lysandra, where he served as a trusted advisor to the queen. Despite his blindness, the cleric was blessed with a divine gift of prophecy, enabling him to guide the kingdom towards prosperity and peace. Yet, the cleric yearned for more than just the confines of the palace. He yearned to understand the world beyond his darkness, to transcend his limitations. Suddenly, his peaceful existence was shattered when the kingdom was besieged by a ruthless army from the north. The palace was reduced to rubble, and the queen fell, leaving the blind cleric amidst the chaos. The invaders, intrigued by the blind prophet, spared his life. Now, a captive, the cleric was thrown into the heart of the enemy's entertainment, the gladiatorial arena. Stripped of his robes and the familiar environment he had so meticulously memorized, the cleric was left vulnerable and disoriented. But in this alien world, the cleric found an unexpected ally, a seasoned gladiator named Marcellus, who took him under his wing. Marcellus saw potential in the cleric, a strength born from his blindness rather than hindered by it. In the heart of an ancient city, teetering on the brink of war, a blind cleric named Atticus lived. Though he could not see, Atticus was not hindered by his blindness. It was a limitation, yes, but one he had learned to use as a unique strength. Atticus had been blind from birth. His parents, fearing for his future, had left him at the steps of a local temple. The priests, believing his blindness to be a sign from the gods, took him in and raised him in the faith. They taught him the art of healing, the mysteries of divination, and the power of prayers. They also taught him that every limitation could be a strength, a lesson that would shape his destiny. As a cleric, Atticus was expected to be a spiritual guide, a healer, and a protector of the faith. His blindness seemed an insurmountable hurdle in fulfilling these responsibilities. He began to train, to push himself beyond the boundaries of his condition. The tale of the gladiator cleric resonates through the ages, a beacon of hope and strength, illuminating the path for those who stumble in the dark. His journey, from the depths of despair to the heights of glory, serves as a testament to the indomitable spirit of man. The gladiator cleric, once a blind mendicant, became a figure of legend. His name whispered in awe in the hushed corridors of sacred temples and roared in the raucous arenas of battle. He was a man who found strength in his most apparent weakness, turning what was a limitation into his greatest asset. His blindness was not a disability, but a lens through which he viewed the world. It was a reminder that sight is not merely physical but spiritual, and that true vision comes not from the eyes but from the soul. It was this insight that guided him, that gave him the strength to wield his staff with such precision and power, and to become the revered gladiator cleric. His legacy is not just in his victories in the arena, but in the lives he touched and the hearts he inspired. The gladiator cleric was not just a man of battle, but a man of faith, a beacon of hope in a world often shrouded in darkness. As our tale draws to a close, we reflect on the astounding journey of Halion, the blind cleric who defied the odds to become a revered gladiator. His journey, one of profound transformation and self-discovery,